Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Robertson Stash. I'm Matt Robertson. I'm here with my co-host, Sean Callahan.
What's up, Matt?
What's up? And today we have a very special guest, Evan from Bear Mountain Studios. How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? Doing good.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely, Matt. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's been a while since we made some pieces, maybe a few years ago.
At least 3 years, maybe even longer. Dude. I think
pre-pandemic for sure.
I think it was 2016, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Or maybe 20.
I have no
late
concept
20.
of time anymore.
Maybe late 2017, because it was after I did that show at Purple Haze in summer of 2016.
Okay, well, we're overdue.
Yeah, we're
We'll
long overdue. But
Yeah.
I've had all new pieces and products that I want to like collab with you on. So it's
Awesome.
good. I've had time to build and refine.
Sweet. Sweet. And you're building a new shop. You're from Colorado Springs and you got a new shop going on there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We've been in Colorado Springs about 8 years now. We love it down there. And we're building a new shop just because of circumstances. We were forced to move because local code enforcement came down on us and we're like, hey, you can't be like manufacturing glass on your residence. You need to have a commercially zoned area to manufacture glass.
Really?
At least at the level they assumed we were, just because of how professional my home setup was.
Yeah.
They interpreted it as, oh my gosh, look how professional it says this can't be in a home. And it's like, no, this is professional because I want to do it right, safe, and also feel really confident and proud of what I've built.
And a lot of inspectors, they really don't even know what they're looking for. When
they don't even have codes for them.
Yeah.
When code enforcement came in, they looked at everything. And they're like, this is a gray zone. They literally had to go talk to the city attorney and bring her pictures and say, what do you think about this? And then they called me 3 days later with her decision. And my lawyer said, we could have fought that. He's like, we could have fought that. He's like, it takes 30 days to put a new code in. It doesn't happen overnight. There's a whole bunch of things. Yeah. But then I told him, I was like, so should I fight that and get on the bad side in code enforcement, or should I just do what I was already planning on doing in 1 year from now, is getting a building and expanding the business? I was like, I'd rather not be on the bad side. I'd actually rather cooperate and contribute to the community if I have to, even though it's not the way I wanted to do it. I'm bigger than that and I can stand up and go, okay, I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. And because I was like, I don't want to get on their bad side because my daughter loves Colorado Springs. My family, like we live there.
Best zoo in Colorado.
Dude, that's where we want to be, bro.
Zoo.
Dude, we take our members, take her there all the time.
Feed the giraffes there.
Dude, it's so fucking fun. Yeah. But yeah, dude, we didn't want to leave Colorado Springs and get on the bad side in code enforcement, especially if I planned on expanding. Because could you imagine? I fight with them, get on their bad side. Now they see my name pop up for a bunch of permits a year later. And they're like, let's fuck this guy. Because there's not much stuff you can get for permits. It's hard to find all the permitting for the type of ventilation you need, for the type of hard line, gas lines. Because not a lot of companies do that kind of stuff. Most HVAC is in residential homes. Most gas lines are just running to a stove or to a heater inside a home. It's not a full system with shutoffs and stuff for torches.
Yeah.
So it was just under the circumstances, like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like step up and just make this happen right now so that long term we can grow. And it was also better for my guys. I have a few guys that work with me, and I wanted to make it more comfortable for them. Even though my house is super nice and comfortable for blowing glass, it's still my house. Like they still have to like go inside and use the bathroom. My daughter's like playing in the back room and stuff. So even if everyone feels cool and we're all friends and it's all great, it's still, to me, like they probably don't feel really 100% comfortable because it's someone's house. But if I build a beautiful studio that's all of ours for all of us to use, then everyone can feel comfortable and hopefully flourish and do their best at work.
For sure.
Because that's
some separation from work and home too.
That too. But I'm keeping my home studio set up, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll still, exactly. Or if I have a cold or something and I don't want to go into the other studio and get everyone else sick, I can just work at the home studio. I'm keeping my lathes there and my kilns and everything. I bought all new lathes and kilns and everything we have 8 lathes, freaking 4 huge kilns, like all new lapidary.
They let you keep your home studio?
Well, after we argued with them and talked to them with the lawyers and everything, my lawyer got down to what exactly was the issue. The only thing they could get me on, and that is having subcontractors or employees working for Bear Mountain Studios on my home residence. Bear Mountain Studio is a corporate, it's S Corp. It needs to have its own separate physical location where people are going in and out of. It can't be a home.
Okay.
Even though people leave by 5:30, we keep it really respectful. I have a huge 8-car driveway and everything. So there's like no issue, not parking in the road or blocking anything. It was just the circumstances. So my complaint I got was fan vibration, which I took care of. And even code enforcement had me turn on the fans and they're like, well, that's not a problem. So they wrote off on that, said the fan's not a problem. It's not loud. There was I got wrote up for this report I got, whoever reported me, it was insane. Like they were going out to get me. And the weirdest part was they reported me with my name and the name of Bear Mountain Studios. Bear Mountain Studios isn't even the company I like pay like taxes on and stuff. I have a whole separate company that everything's under. It's a step. You had to do that back in the day, especially when you're in New York. You couldn't have like a pipe company selling pipes. You had to have a company under a company and pay tax. It was just weird shit you had to do to get kind of sneak around and be, a pipe maker and selling glass and paying taxes on it.
So your new studio's in the Springs as well?
Yeah, it is. It's only about 10 minutes from our house. We wish it was a little closer, but honestly, the drive's not bad. It's kind of nice to just like jump in your car and clear your head and drive to work. Yeah.
Get some good tunes on.
Exactly, dude.
That's nice.
Oh,
so what are you producing out of this studio? You said you got 8 guys working for you.
We have 3 guys right now, and the 4th guy's going to be
8
starting
levels,
here once the building opens, which we're hoping to be open in a few weeks.
Okay.
So all my guys, none of them make like products yet. I have one guy. Well, I guess like I have one guy that makes the bubble caps that come with every RBR because the refined bell recycler. We'll get into what the name is.
That's what it says. That's what it stands for.
Yeah. So because in 2013 I made the bell recycler, which was like my simple little recycler, and it was a doer bub just like that. And then all of a sudden in 2015 everyone wanted mail joints. So I took the doer out and I put a mail joint on top of it, and that's what I sold to 2017-ish, 2016, 2017. Then I refined them. They became the refined bell recycler, or the RBR.
RBR, okay.
Yeah. And that's like kind of like the flagship product that we sell right now. I have many different designs I sell, but this is the one that I would say for the function and the cost, it's the most affordable for like what you're getting. And it's a super, super dialed in recycler, but it's not a traditional recycler where you have a condensed line that pulls the water up and has a chug and a gulp. It's more like a doer bub with a very short intake, and that I would say the drain is more of a splash guard than anything. Recyclers are, for the most part, like the drain function itself is more just a direction to push the water because all the energy of the water is being brought up to almost your mouth and you don't want to drink water.
No.
So like drains are almost like fancy splash guards if you wanted to really like say what their function was besides being a cool water feature that visually looks nice in videos. Which that's another thing interesting about these pipes is they're very simple, and it's literally just, it kind of hits, I think, a couple different notes for buyers where like the front part of the can is like very like traditional, like scientific bubbler, like we're all used to back in the day. And then the back is like that newer style with the recycler, but they're side by side. So you see the bubbler, you see the tornado. It's very easy to take videos of. Yeah. And these spin water while you're dabbing. They don't start spinning after you hit it. They spin the whole time. So it's, they're just
great function. We'll do a function video that.
Absolutely. So yeah, what we're producing over there is I make the RBRs. I make a bunch of different stuff. I have a whole flower line I've been working on of bubblers, tubes, and stuff like that. I have prototype pieces I do every month.
So do you have a catalog, or can people buy this on your website?
Yeah. So how it works is we do one public drop a month on bmsglass.com, and we call it our Sunday sale. We've been doing them since May of 2020, May of 2019. Shit, it's been a while now. And basically what we do is we send out newsletters. We let everyone know what's going to be available that weekend on that Sunday. All the prices are there listed. And then a half hour before the drop, we put all the pieces up for preview. So you can click through the whole website, see what the prices are, see what you want to go for. And then at 11 a.m., everything goes live. And then it's just like a war. Everyone's just going in there, clicking, trying to get what they can get.
They got to put their credit card number in.
A lot of people have them saved on our website to expedite that because it usually sells before you can put your credit card number in.
Wow.
And that's the issue is with customers. That's why we do it in the format we do. And then we also have 2 private subscriber-based drops every month. And the reason we started that was to give real hardcore supporters a paywall. You pay $5. That way it eliminates about 70 to 80% of the other buyers on the market.
That's
because that $5 and like but also too, that $5, when people pay that, they get a lot more. I do a monthly giveaway. I give away a piece that's anywhere from like $2,000 to $4,000 piece every month.
Just for the like
just
VIP
for the Patreon members. Yep.
Yeah.
We have a separate private Instagram for them that I go live on every day and hang out, they can ask questions.
That's awesome.
We have a whole thing where they can tell us what they want in their special drops. Say, what do you guys want this week? What do you want this month? What are you looking for? I'll make exactly what people want.
Dope.
So it's a much more like collector focus style thing, because my other Instagrams have gotten so big that it's so like, there's so many people. I don't know who I'm talking to. I feel like I can't give people the time of day.
Sure.
And when I have the Patreon and my subscription based stuff, I know exactly who's there to support me and my company. And I know exactly who I'm talking to. It's a much tighter group.
I'm sure they appreciate that too.
Oh, dude,
Like,
it's awesome. And it's only like 700 people or so right now, but it's like, it's awesome. Like
the VIP is 700 people.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
We only drop maybe like 25 to 30 VIP pieces a month. And then the public one, it's like anywhere from 40 to 60 pieces.
And how many members do you have on the public one?
The public one, I mean, it's more just who participates. I would say I wouldn't even look at the Instagram following, because that's fake. Instagram followings, you never know who, like, engagement's so weird nowadays.
Yeah.
You get 100,000 followers and get 20 likes on something. But real engagement, real people. We have over 10,000 people on a newsletter that we send out all the time, that we give people updates. We talk about our podcast on the newsletter, the Patreon drops. We talk about the public drops. We talk about new and upcoming things.
And how would someone sign up for this newsletter?
It's all in my link tree and it's on my website. But
so
like
your link in your Instagram?
Yeah. So you like click the link in the bio, and then right there, you'll see all the different options, all the way from like, here's the newsletter sign up. Here's our special nails we sell through Evan Shore that are longer for the RBRs, because they're a doer style bub. So it's nice to have the option for a longer neck nail if you have that one friend that's not paying attention with a short neck nail and he blasts the side of your rig with fire, you know?
Yeah.
So we have like all these different things, and then like facts and questions page, because a lot of people are like, what the fuck does this stuff even cost? Because one of the hardest things for customers when they're first finding you, no matter who you are as a creator, they go, do they even sell stuff? Or like, what's this cost? How do I even buy it? There's a lot of basic questions like that if someone can't find quickly, they'll just move on to the next thing. And you were just something they saw on a Tuesday. You weren't even like something that's going to make an imprint on them. So you have to give people a way to actually be able to figure out what you're doing, because it's hard to translate that in Instagram videos. Like, you really do have to have like paths for people to follow where they can find out more about your company.
Sure.
Podcasts like this are great for that.
It sounds like you've had quite the evolution of marketing. How did you get to the subscription based website, and like when you've been doing that since 2019, you said?
Well, the subscription started this January. So we're coming up on, about like 9 months or so. And we started that originally because we were having so many people upset that the drops were selling out so quick. Like people were like, I've been trying for 2 years. I'm quitting. I'm not even going to try and buy your glass anymore.
So is it a $5 one-time fee, or is it like
$5 per month?
Per month?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it's, and that, like I said, gets you in the giveaways and everything. But we started that in early January to give people the option, more chances to get glass. And what we did is I basically started taking some of the glass from my like big Sunday sales, setting it aside for Patreon. We do a monthly pre-sale of clear glass. So I have clear RBRs that come in 4 styles. This is one of the bigger versions, the 14 mil double diffuse. Then I have 3 different ones that scale down smaller and smaller with different style perks and different style function.
Are they like 10 mil? Or?
2 different 10 mils and 1 other 14. So it's like we have the 10 mil micro, the 10 mil mini version of this pipe.
Yeah.
Then we have the 14 millimeter standard, which was my standard RBR that started it all. It doesn't have that extra disc in the middle there. And then the 14 mil double diffuse. So we pre-sell these every month, and we pre-sell like 6 to 10 of each.
Okay.
Every month.
And what do they retail for in the stores?
So on our website, the micros.
Do you retail them?
Yeah, they're all retail.
Okay.
Yep. The micros are 500, and these are 850. And they come with a bubble cap mood mat and a unique BMS sticker pack. So we build a new sticker pack every month, and we have new mood mats almost every month that come with the pre-sales.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then like there's options on our website when you buy it. You can add your Pelican, all that kind of stuff. Everything comes signed. So it's still like that with the pre-sale. What we do with that too, sorry to kind of be all over the place, guys. With the pre-sale, another thing we do is for our Patreon is we'll give them access to the pre-sale a day before public. So sometimes the pre-sale that goes to public is only 10 pieces, because the Patreon scooped up 30 of those clear pieces.
Wow.
So the Patreon always has first dibs on the pre-sales for the most part.
So what is Patreon? Is this like a platform where you can have subscribers?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the reason I started using Patreon, that was my choice for platform to do that, was because I watch a lot of podcasts. I've been a big podcast listener for about 7 years now to all different podcasts. And all these guys and girls that I follow and listen to use Patreon to have extra like podcast episodes for their listeners. And it's a way you can support the podcast, support their company so they can grow. Like you have people that do like Patreon and they'll have like 10 or 15,000 Patreon members, but $5 a month from 10, 15,000 people, that's good money. You can support your family, focus on your podcast, dump everything into it, make it super nice, great content. Very similar to what early YouTubers used to do until they changed how you got paid on YouTube. So people who create things had to really adjust where they were getting their revenue stream from as content started being moderated in the way it was.
Does Patreon take like a percentage of it?
Oh, they do. Yeah. It's really low though, dude. It's like, it's minor. I mean, some people will complain about Patreon saying they take too much, but I think those are the people that get like $250,000 a month from Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be like, they took $13,000 or $15,000. I'm like, dude, you got $250,000
Yeah.
this month.
Yeah, so we know OnlyFans for sure.
I've heard of that.
It's very similar, but maybe
PG and you know.
Okay.
Patreon, some people will do more explicit content on there. It's everything. I mean, we're using it in a way that I don't think has been done yet for selling glass. I've seen glass blowers do Patreon to do classes where you pay $5 a month and they have all these videos on how to do different techniques.
Yeah.
So there's people that do that, which we're going to be offering classes once our new studio opens. I'm going to be flying people out and we'll have a virtual version then.
That's the future.
Because
I think.
for my guys to get good at glass blowing, I can only teach them so much. I need to hire people like Evil Empire and stuff to like bring them out. Like come show us some lathe techniques.
Yeah.
So that's.
Does Patreon offer like different tiers?
Yes.
So like you have your podcast tier and then you have like classes that you offer.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. So with us right now, we only have one tier and we were supposed to start a second tier like 6 months ago. But then when this whole thing happened with code enforcement and having to move my studio and my whole life being thrown up in the air for a little bit, I kind of had to reduce how much I was putting on my plate so I could focus on the task at hand that was threatening us at the time. So now that once this studio opens, then we're going to finally drop our second tier, which will be probably like our $10 or $15 tier, which will be a higher expense giveaway every month. Will probably be a full crushed opal piece. And then will be access to like certain private stuff. And then we have an even higher tier that we built that we haven't released, but it's more like you have this, we have 2 parties a year for collectors. This is like automatic ticket to that. And then it comes with this pipe and it's a special edition pipe that's only for this year. So you get the special edition pipe, you get the access to the 2 public parties in Colorado. Like there's a bunch of stuff we're doing, but we've had to wait because of the circumstances of our whole world.
Sure,
the last couple of years.
The dust settle a little bit.
Dude, like especially with the whole pandy, everything that's happened. It's kind of, I had to put all my plans on hold. We've still been able to grow and keep moving forward, but it's not been at the pace I wanted. But some people might see it from the outside and be like, you're moving quick. But I'm like, dude, there was so much more I wanted to have done by now.
It sure does look like it. Like on your Instagram, you're building up that shop.
We're doing things, dude.
Yeah.
All day there. And then I work 2, 3 in the morning on the torch and just making the dreams happen.
And you have a 4-year-old, right?
I do. Yeah. She's right there by my side doing everything with us though, which is how I grew up. I grew up like my mom and dad owned businesses. My dad had a construction company. My mom had a hair salon.
Has she melted glass yet?
No. She doesn't listen good enough yet. Because all it takes is that one not listening and wave your hand through the flame and then a little beautiful baby arm scarred. So I'm probably going to wait till
get a phone call from child.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's the shit I worry about too. Being like talking about that kind of stuff, being a social media person and like making podcasts and like being a medical marijuana patient and stuff like that. I do worry about like posting videos and stuff like with people getting weird and be like, oh, you got kids and like, you smoke weed. And it's like, you know, the public perception of someone who's a cannabis consumer. You know what I mean? So
much safer.
Run into a Karen.
Much safer in this state, though.
It is. That's why I moved here. I moved here to be safe. So, because I was like, when I was in New York, I was like, man, the only thing I'm doing illegal is like smoking weed. Like I pay taxes. Like I'm a good neighbor.
Where
like
in New York were you from?
Syracuse area, so upstate New York. Yeah, I grew up like around apple farms and like specifically Lafayette, New York. And then we moved here in 2014. Yeah.
Is that where Ski Mask is from?
Yeah, actually, years ago, me and him actually like used to like kind of know each other a little bit in the community because he was a skateboarder, I was a skateboarder. He lived just up the road from me.
Oh, really? I think that's the birthplace of Memorial Day.
Yeah,
right?
upstate New York, I think it is, dude. Right?
What? Yeah.
There was a parade that used to go down Route 20 right through there. I believe it was. There's like there's a plaque about it or some shit.
Yeah, I saw the plaque.
Yeah,
actually.
dude.
Yeah.
But I know he lives right in that area. Super, like that dude is such a talented, skilled freaking glass blower.
Yeah.
Man, I need to like go like look at his Instagram or something. So he's back in my algorithm. It's so weird. If you don't search people, you just don't see him anymore. It's so weird how
It's
social
weird.
media
Instagram
works.
is like, and if you post a still picture too,
Yeah.
it kind of gets nothing. No
Yeah,
love.
it's
You need,
so
like, a
weird.
reel
Dude.
now.
It's so weird. It makes it very
just
difficult.
watching us to see who's gonna do what and who's.
I think that they're,
caving and-
dude. I see so many people just like quitting on the Instagram shit because I see even some of the biggest artists I look up to getting very frustrated with the platform, being like, I'm not reaching the people I should be reaching right now, and it's scary for me because when you see people that you look up to or that you aspire to be like at that level of skill or glass art, and then you see them maybe struggling to get the engagement they should be getting, it's like, fuck, dude, like when's my turn? Is it coming? Like it's scary.
Well, now they even have advertisements when you go to somebody's profile. So I'll go to your Instagram and all of a sudden I start seeing ads in between photos.
Oh, really?
And they just started
It's
this
so
a couple
weird,
weeks
yeah.
ago, and they said, "Oh, we're trying to see if we can't help monetize users in a different way." I'm like, give me a break.
Where do you think the money is going to come from for their new subscriber base? They're not just going to give people money. They're gonna put ads in between stuff. One thing with my Instagram,
unless you want to pay.
unless you want, dude, yeah. One thing I've never done with my Instagram that like a lot of people did, I never connected it with Facebook. I never anytime they put out something
mine's
new,
not connected
it's like, oh,
either.
you want us to do this? You want to like advertise? You want a subscription? I won't do any of it at all because I'm scared that it's going to put me on their radar, dude, because I'm like taking big dabs and taking videos of it and like coughing my brains out and taking funny, but having a good time. But on the outside, you might see, oh, that's not appropriate. We got to shut this countdown and shadow ban it. I think
Yeah.
I've only slipped by because I haven't taken advantage of all like the things they've put out. Oh, just sign up with this for us so that and then you can get all these benefits. Like they're like, oh, you get $1,000 this month from your reels. I was like, you keep it.
What about
Stay away from
TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
No, dude. I watch too much fucking stuff on the internet to even participate with that app.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know, all the weird like shit.
Feel
behind
that.
it.
Feel
Yeah,
that.
dude. I don't even want
China.
Yeah, the CCP,
Yeah, they
dude.
got
I'm not
info.
trying to fuck with anything, dude. They've gotten enough for me, dude. They have factories over there making my glass and selling it to people at DH Gate and shit. I mean, we all do, but
And not to mention their algorithm in China versus in America is just,
They won't even. They're not. It's not even allowed in China. Like,
It's
kids
like-
can't go on it.
they do, but they reward the kids who are putting smart things
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
that's right.
Yeah.
Versus America where they're rewarding the kids.
well,
who
dude, you
do
got the
stupid
social
things.
credit system, man. You know, only all the good people will just be treated right, and I don't think that's real. But that's a whole nother conversation.
It really is.
That's a scary one.
I think we should go there someday.
We could, if you
Let's
guys ever
go.
want to do crazy podcasts like that. You already see I'm chatty. I can do it.
So what's next for Bear Mountain Studios?
Next for Bear Mountain Studios, man, it's get this studio open and then get a few more people in there to help focus on our flower line because I want to have like available like tubes and bubblers out there that like for like the flower smokers. I've spent the last 8 years focusing on hash smokers. And I feel like there's so much function I could offer to like, there's a huge group of people that follow me that don't smoke hash. Like, and they always message me like, man, I love your work. I wish
Are they just like straight tubes, or are you? Gonna
they
do
are. They're
recyclers, or-
traditional. They're a traditional silhouette of a tube, but the function and the perk and stuff in them is refined for how I'd want the tube to hit. And I'm going like I have old books of stuff I used to draw in 2012, 2013 from before I was really a glass blower of like flower tubes and stuff when I was mostly collecting those and smoking those. And be like, oh, I wish they would change this or do this. I've gone back to that book, grabbed designs, redesigned them. And once I can find a team that can do that, because I have to make RBRs. I'm not going to have someone else making the RBRs, but I can have a team of people that help me manufacture the tubes and stuff out of our studio, and we can make everyone part of it. It can be a whole social media thing. You can watch the whole process.
Oh, that'd
you
be
can
cool.
meet the team. It's going to be a much more immersive way of showing our company. That way, what I've found, the more you educate the people who are trying to support you, or even people that aren't trying to support you, you can convert people to supporting you if you educate them on what you're doing. The more someone knows about something, the more comfortable they are spending money on it. And the more they know about something, the more encouraged they are to buy it and then go to their friend's house and tell their friend all about the stuff they know. When I watch a good fucking conspiracy documentary, I want to call one of my boys and be like, bro, I know so much about this. In 3 days, I'm going to forget all about the Rockefellers and all that. But you know, for that moment, I know something, and that's
Yeah.
exciting. And you want to tell someone. So like educating people it's a multi-layered thing where you're able to.
Yeah, it's not just if you're good at art and you can make art, you're gonna be successful. It's like
That's
50%.
not- that's-
more
that's
than
the-
50% is like this marketing thing.
It is. I would say the most skilled and talented glass artists out there aren't being focused on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell people I'm the most skilled or best glass blower in the world. I can make water spin. I can make some cool bubblers. I'm learning. I'm on my journey right now. I'm not at the top yet. I have people I strive to be like, people I look up to like you. For me,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
yeah, absolutely, dude. For me, it's like I'm still learning, I'm still growing. Banjo, any of those, dude, they did years of proto, making spoons and chillums and stuff. I'm in my proto phase right now. It just happens to be in the current culture. Our current proto is recyclers and bubblers. It's not the chillums or the spoons anymore.
But for people listening out there, like to be successful, you got to like keep up with the times. Like this website is like, seems like it's helping you. The members, the exclusivity that you got going.
Absolutely.
Like this, you created your whole network. Kind of self-sufficient. I love that.
There's a different connection too with like the Instagram aspect too. Like I can tell like when some people clearly like no one really likes doing Instagram. You like it when people like a bunch of shit and you get a bunch of comments like, oh, that feels good, dopamine. But like social media is a very strange thing. It's like anytime you post, it's like walking into a lunchroom at a new high school and you don't know anyone. You're just holding your tray.
That's a great
and
analogy.
you're looking around and you're like, does anyone fucking like me or paying attention to me? And when they don't, it hurts us viscerally because as humans, we want to be part of the tribe. And if the tribe's not paying attention to us, our value is low. And then that means that we're just, what are we? You know, who cares about who cares?
The youth.
And then you have to think about your emotions. Then you get spinning down a rabbit hole. And if you smoke hash, it exacerbates it. But either way, yeah.
So you, with your own network, you can kind of see and control it.
Absolutely.
You see exactly who's you're fucking with you, you know.
Exactly. And I can
That's
really
great.
maintain if someone's upset or if there's an issue, I can catch it right away and take care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to fuck up. We're people, we're glass blowers, we're stoners. But it's how you like handle and take care of people in the end. You know what I mean? That's what it always is.
I'm gonna have to get your number, Evan.
I love it. I got you.
Where can all the viewers find your podcast?
So my podcast is on YouTube. It's under like Bear Mountain Studios is actually our YouTube page, but it's called the What's Up Everybody podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Dude, because anytime I do a dab video or any video, I'm always like, what's up, everybody? So I just called it that because it's what I always say.
I love that.
Yeah,
Simple.
like it's
good,
simple.
catchy.
And it's indescript. Like it's not like, oh, weed smoking or it's, oh, glass blowing. It's just here's some fucking archetypical bearded glasses guy just talking about random shit.
Yeah.
I blow glass. Yes. I have a family. Yes. And I talk about everything. It depends on what it's a digital journal and how I look at it too.
great.
I've done episodes with my father. We talk about histories and conspiracies and we just take dabs the whole time because my dad will fucking slam some dabs and shit and talk.
Oh,
about,
yeah?
He's super history buff. He'll talk about crazy shit.
Nice. And
He was
lives
like,
in the Springs too?
he lives in Florida. I fly him out a lot for like just to come out here and spend time with the granddaughter, be on the podcast,
Beautiful.
help me build stuff. But yeah, so it's a little bit of everything on the podcast. And that way, like for me, I'm able to connect with people on a totally different way. Like when people are watching me talk, they're watching me make mistakes. They're watching me kind of question my own thought process. They're watching an open thought.
Yeah, you're
and,
humanizing yourself.
Exactly.
Like that.
And like when people see that, I think that it makes them also more comfortable in buying the glass because when they're buying it, they know who I am. They're like, that's Evan. Like most people I meet that watch my podcast, they know everything about me and I know nothing about them. It's a very weird dynamic. I'll meet people and they'll know so much about my personal life and little things and details from the last 3 years. And then I'm like, what's your name? Like, you're telling me everything you remember about me. I don't even know who you are. I want to know you now. You know me. I told you about it. And you watched the episodes. You consumed it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now let me get to know you. Because we recently did the 5mm show. And holy shit, dude. I met so many. It was shocking how many people actually that were there that listened to the podcast. Because when you do something like this, you don't know who's listening.
For sure.
It's like such an obscure, strange thing to try to build that like you're not sure who your audience is. Are they real or are these just bots? And I met like over 50 people that listened to the podcast that were just so excited, like how it told them how it helped them with this and that. I'm like, I'm just talking, but I appreciate that talking's helping you in whatever way it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I certainly just subscribed right now as you were talking.
So hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hey, you guys go follow Bear Mountain Studios on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Well, okay. Can I? We're gonna do a lightning round question.
Love it.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. Me and Sean here. What animal would you be for a day,
And why?
and why?
Octopus.
Oh,
So I know the secrets.
oh yeah,
Dude, they're aliens. Fuck them.
they are. For real.
Yeah, dude.
And like the way they communicate, like some cuttlefish and stuff.
Either that
yeah.
or a long-haired cow because they look like they live a really chill life.
Super shaggy.
Yeah,
Like
they
a-
just look like because
a
they just
Wagyu
get
beef
brushed.
cow.
One that
Drink a
wasn't going
beer,
to get
get
eaten, hopefully,
massaged.
but either way, if it was comfortable, either way. Yeah, dude, but probably octopus because that shit, those are really interesting to me.
Okay, cool.
All-time favorite movie?
It's going to be either Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore. I grew up on Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, nice.
And they will always be like, for me, the thing I go back to when I'm stressed out or having a bad day, just watch some Happy Gilmore.
Love
Yeah.
Happy Madison Productions.
Yeah.
Big fan my whole life.
Okay, what do you listen to in the studio when you're working?
Podcasts 100% of the time, but it really depends on the time of day. I work long days.
No music, really?
No music, no. I only listen to music if people are visiting.
Okay. If you had to pick one band, your favorite band, all-time favorite band, what would it be?
Probably Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
What genre is that?
That's like early 90s hip hop.
Okay. Cool.
Really dating yourself there?
I grew up with an older brother that lived in Chicago his whole life and stuff. He's a lot older than me. And like he brought me like tons of mixed like tapes from like the 80s and 90s when I was younger. So he used to listen to them a lot. And like lots of like really
they don't
like,
make it like that anymore.
No, dude.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, dude. It's just so fun. Just fun music.
Yeah.
Like
actually
people
had like meaningful
they were telling you a story and they were having fun, but they were giving you all different emotions. I loved it. It's like a roller coaster of just that's why I listen to when I drive. I listen to music like when I drive, but when I'm working, it's podcasts or documentaries.
And then here, the last question: what's the meaning of life, in your opinion?
The meaning of life, I really would look back to like Alan Watts and how he saw it, and I believe the meaning of life is just no matter what you're doing, make sure you're playing. If you're working, you're playing. If you're stressed out, find a way to be playing in that moment.
Yeah, do what makes you
living
happy.
in the moment and happiness and playing is the meaning of life. It's truly just finding a way to be peaceful. There's no answer, but besides trying to find peace. That's it.
Should we get to our daily feature?
I think so. Yeah.
So
I want to see how this thing functions.
This is an RBR.
This is an RBR, right?
This is a refined bell recycler, or RBR as the public calls them. Nowadays, people say RBR and they don't even know what it means. They just call things RBRs. I'll see people posting recyclers like, dude, that's a sick RBR. And I'm like, that's a decline, but all right. Like if people just call them RBRs.
Let's talk about it.
But right here, we have the 14 millimeter double diffused. It has a 24 hole grid shower head that's welded to the bottom. The reason I weld the perk in 2 points, because if this tips over and hits the table, you don't want it vibrating and snapping the perk off on the inside. So these were like made to be a really structurally sound daily driver that was simple and easy to use, clean, all of the above. A lot of people will lean away from recyclers and go towards a different product because they're scared of the big curvy drains and stuff. They're scared to break that thin little drain. The RBRs are much more compact and kind of like dialed in to be a daily driver. So if the dog's tail comes by and knocks it over on the table, it has a higher probability of taking that fall just fine. This one right here is the 14 millimeter double diffused. The reason we call it the double diffuse is not so much that it's diffusing twice. Back in the day, we called them the double diffuse in 2013 was because this disc in here actually used to be closer to the walls. Okay. So close that it would be a blooper.
So that's like a Maria that you've put some
cuts in. The cuts are only there for water to drain though. The cuts aren't there for the smoke. So what this does is like with like the function of adhesion, cohesion, that's what this is focusing on. So the water will come out of the perk and when it actually goes up around here, it'll create a little water membrane and then it'll start bubbling and it reduces the amount of energy the user needs to use to actually get it to stack and spin water. A lot of recyclers,
next level.
A lot of recyclers, people don't like smoking because they have to pull super hard to get it to spin and then their dab doesn't taste as good. Or they're like, oh, my flavors, my hash. I'd rather just smoke a fucking mini tube because it's going to take, I could pull slower at the better taste. I designed these so that you could pull slow, smooth, at whatever pace you want. You just set the water level for how you like to smoke. But this disc right here is going to move that water up with minimal effort so you can enjoy your dab. It'll be spinning water and you're not like
Can you
fighting.
do a little water test
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
here so I can... a little tornado.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And like, so like
Function.
when this is a 2019 too, this is an older one. The newer ones are even more dialed, obviously, because like anything you keep doing, you keep finding ways to make it better and better and better. That's why a lot of the time, like, and especially in our industry, I feel people will worry when they see other people making their product and it can be scary. But it's kind of like a double-sided blade. It can be scary because you don't want them to devalue your work or take away from all the hours you put in or get some sort of credit when you're the one that killed yourself to get to that point.
Right.
But the others, and if you're confident in yourself and you're putting that time in, you know, like, oh, when they're sleeping, I'm working. Oh, when they're focusing on having a good time,
have a real one.
Go to the party, I'm working. So no matter what, when they're doing whatever else they like to do besides making a quick buck on my design, I'm working. So like I'm refining it, I'm making it better, and I'm making some new shit too. So it doesn't matter because I'm working. Like it's whatever. Because believe me, I've had some crazy shit happen with people who remake these, all the way from like stores that did funny stuff and selling them. And
how can people, like, you keep them authentic? Like,
I have mine are sandblasted, signed, and like they all come with like you really can tell, but at the same time, like obviously someone could mimic something to a T. But at the end of the day, I would say that with how much I post on Instagram, how much I do weekly podcasts, I do like at least 6 lives a week for an hour. Like I am connecting with people constantly. So if someone gets ripped off and then they're misunderstanding and didn't know, then I can't feel too mad at myself because I truly give 110% to connect with people and educate them. Yeah. If I miss a few and they slide through, I'm like,
you bought it from me.
Yeah. Well, I'll help you. Like I've done things for people when they get ripped off and I hook them up with a discount one of mine so that they can have a real one. Mm-hmm. I've done all sorts of like things that I don't like post or promote because then at the end of the day, you could have too many people doing it or taking advantage of a situation. But I always take care of people. And anytime someone reaches out to me, we treat them like with respect because a lot of the time I'll have someone reach out like, how do I heat up a nail or how does this work? I don't know how to make the water spin in this. And you realize that this person has just gotten into using concentrate. So they just got into buying glass. And you have to like, because a lot of times glassblowers and artists, we're a little jaded. We've been here for, decade or more doing this pipe thing. And then we have someone reach out, you just assume everyone knows everything already. You forget that, someone just got into this.
Do you have these like educational videos on your website?
We have videos that I've made that my wife, so when someone emails us, I have all these different videos I've made, like how to fill your rig, how to do this. I don't post them publicly, but they're for when we get emails and help questions, we send them a full video. Amazing. And then they get like, I show them how-tos, how to fill the water, like how to use your nail, how to heat this up.
Do you have any background in like marketing or?
No. I dropped out of high school in 10th grade, fucking moved to New York City, smoked weed and skateboarded under the Manhattan Bridge. And then my wife, like, I don't even know, dude. We just ended up out here. I started a landscape company, met Ski Mask Glass because he had me do a project at his house for him. He showed me some things. He showed me.
Really? So that was like your first kind of.
That was the first glass blower I ever met.
Oh wow!
Sold some weed to Jason Lord. He told me Elbow was coming over. I was like, who the fuck's that? I'm not coming over. And then I was like, years later, I'm like, fuck, dude, I could have met Elbow. Like the fuck, dude. I didn't know. It was early 2012. Instagram was barely starting up. I didn't know who anyone was yet. I wasn't even a glass blower yet. But yeah, dude, so I had a landscape company. He basically was like, oh, we need a hole dug in the backyard for a skateboard for a pool. He knows as a skateboarder, knew I had a landscape company and equipment.
Oh, so you built that?
We dug the hole for him. Really? They built it. We just dug the hole out there behind the house. Yeah. Small world.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, dude, I just want to thank you for coming through today.
Absolutely, man.
That was a lot of info. I'm sure a lot of people are going to find that.
Sorry. Really, appreciate you guys letting me talk.
I think that's great. Like, that's really like pretty much like a step-by-step formula on how to kill it in the glass.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like,
consistency is key.
That helpful.
And that's what I tell most people. Consistency is key. Even on the days you feel like it's not working, you have to commit to it because people aren't going to invest in you unless they see you're investing in yourself. People got to watch you fail and keep picking yourself up for a couple years before they're comfortable to invest in you. Show them you believe in yourself, they'll invest in you.
And when do you sleep though?
From like 3 a.m. to 6:30 a.m.
Really?
Usually or 2 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. because I have a 4-year-old, so we get up for school every day. Even on the weekends, she's up ready to fucking play. So
that's a lot.
We go.
Man. Good for you. Do it now so you can rest when you.
Dude, I'm 32. I'm gonna do it now. I'm a young man. There's people who've had much harder lives than me. I get to smoke weed all day and make art and listen to podcasts, dude. If I'm gonna complain about staying up late doing that, then I'm the problem. So.
Yeah. Pretty blessed.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you guys. This was fun. I hope we get to do it again. I'd love to.
We'd love to have you back for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming through,
Absolutely.
man.
Thank you everybody for listening too. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Let's smoke some weed. I'm Matt Robertson.
Sean Callahan.
And Evan Mann.
We'll see you next time on the Robertson Stash.